I wonder if we would say that the Daily Mail has got a sort of bargain. It's got a big interview with Nadine Dorries today where she talks about the death of her father, which is very poignant, and the death of her cousin. Not much else, I'm afraid. And she talks about looking forward to leaving Parliament, not being able to confirm that she will be moving into the House of Lords. If it happens, she'd be very excited. And referencing her 16 novels, which, as I say, are, well, I'd like to say unputdownable, but I've never picked them back up again after. I spent my time in hospital reading her collected works, and would I want to do that again? No, I really wouldn't. But she does tell a sort of yarn. The problem is, as I've said before, what the language that she uses on Twitter is completely different to the language that she uses in these novels. And I must say the one I would prefer is the one in the novels. Absolutely. The one I would prefer is the one in the novels, not the one I've heard from Parliament, which is almost sometimes incoherent. Anyway, a much more interesting story that the Mail published today was that Topol, the wonderful Chaim Topol, was actually a Mossad agent and was collecting information and drilling holes in walls and gathering gathering information about the location of missing soldiers during the Syrian war, during the various Arab-Israeli wars. A purposeful and adventure-filled life where he was great friends with the person who eventually became head of Mossad. Am I surprised? Not hugely. Am I surprised about the Nadine Dorries story? Not hugely. Well, there isn't very much of a Nadine Dorries story, except this. Tighten your belts. And I suppose we have to promise never, ever, even on a day when there seems nothing better to fiddle through in the newspaper shop, Nadine Dorries is going to get a column in the Daily Mail. As if it can't get any worse. As if it can't get any worse. The Nadine Dorries is going into print on a regular basis in the newspapers. Well, I look forward to that, I suppose. I look forward to avoiding that, maybe. But the problem is, I find it very difficult to avoid anything. I find if something is in print, if something has been published, I want to read it whether I agree with it or not. I want to see what exactly has been said, if anything. And judging by the huge amount of text about Nadine Dorries by Francis Hardy, where we actually learn very little, I suppose that's a sort of preview of what her column is going to be like. There'll be a lot of text and very little content. But there we are. That's Nadine Dorries.